mentioned the maturity of Djokovic, Fred, growing. It is interesting to see last year a couple of the old stages, so to speak, and no disrespect to Carlos Meyer or Fabrice Santoro along with Arnaud Clément, but they're a couple of the guys that were able to beat him last year.
Well, he had back spasms the other day also, and down to bouncing of the ball. So let's hope he doesn't bounce the ball too much when he's serving today. We don't want any more problems.
The serve of Djokovic is getting better every year. He's top 10 in the world as far as aces produced in 2007.
Changes post on the serve there and opens up the court. And that's the Djokovic contingent there,
which is certainly expanded since he was here 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The sign of the world #3 ranking, perhaps. Well, an early move to the net from Djokovic, and it helps him seal the opening service game of the match.
Like most of the top players, they have parts of their game that are either not necessarily the best in the world, for example a forehand or a backhand or a serve, but they're up there in the top 10 in every facet. And Djokovic, you know, he's just about there in every facet, Fred.
He is, he certainly is. And well, we've had a lot of constants here over the years and a lot of upsets, but one constant that is here every year. I've just had an email from this lady's daughter. And not only, we said she's been here about 15 years, about much time. She's been here since day one of the Hopman Cup. She knits these for the players if players ask her to do some knitting, and she can do it without watching. But her name is Judy Crisp, and they say that, you know, when she gets a bit excited, she knows she's on TV now. When she gets a bit excited, she has to put the knitting down because she gets too excited to keep the fingers going. But she knits all this stuff for the players. Great to see. Every year she's been here.
Oh, that's just missed. Sounded good off the racket. Thought it was going to catch the line. And even though this is Clément's first point on serve, I doubt he wants too many rallies like this, Jeff.
Well, absolutely.
Again, it reminds me, the serve reminds me a little bit of somebody like a Kenny Rosewald, you know, very quick around the court, but obviously from a much different era. But Rosewald's serve was not his strength, but boy, pinpoint accuracy, and that's the same with this fella's serve. That last one, it couldn't have been placed in a better spot, but not with a lot of pace. Look at that one again. Just not a lot of power, but great placement.
Just 168, but phew, perfect. The second serve just didn't have enough on it.
14 for 10.
That maturity you mentioned, gentlemen, is the construction of points as well. Didn't go for the out-and-out winner straight up, Djokovic. Maybe to construct it to set up the easy shot instead of dicing with danger with the return. But that one he did go for glory, did Djokovic, missing long, and Clement holds. Good crowd turned out to see the highest ranked team in world tennis, and Djokovic and Jankovic. Unfortunately, Jankovic having to default her singles with a muscle strain. But now they're well and truly looking forward to seeing what this man can produce. I mentioned previously, Jeff, we saw a long rally between Clement and Djokovic earlier in Clement's previous game. Surely the Frenchman doesn't want to try and slug from the baseline with this man.
No, it'll be interesting to see what sort of tactics Clement can employ here.
I'm going to say there's not much else he can do. That's his game, is slugging from the baseline. He's not going to serve and volley. His game's built around being a counter puncher, most of it.
Well, I think one thing we can say, the man on screen's got wonderful court craft. You might see a few different things. Too heavy off the ground in the end, Djokovic.
Well, that backhand down the line is one of Djokovic's signature shots. If he's in position, as he was there, had lots of time, he wasn't pushed too wide, the down the line therefore was an option. He hit it beautifully. And he loves to play drop shots. That's a gem.
Power and touch combined to ensure Djokovic holds for 2-1. One-two. Throughout the tournament, we've enjoyed your comments and questions on the website, abc.net.au/tennis, and we've got one for you in a moment, Jeff. Question from Kevin.
A bit lucky to get away with that because the approach shot wasn't good from Clement, and we would have expected Djokovic to make more of this attempted pass. Here comes the approach. Djokovic got lots of time, and clearly not what he was hoping for.
The coach Novak Djokovic pretty happy with that one. Stayed in the corner, and he had the open court. This one here, he stays in the corner and was able to throw the lob up, which kept him in the point. Then he turns the defensive situation into attack. and wins the point.
Sucking in the oxygen. I think that's probably one of the longest singles rallies we've seen this week. I'll get to your question in a moment, Kevin, off the net, but important time for France here. Second serve, 15:30. Well, it's perhaps a little leading, this question, Jeff, considering who we've got on court, but Kevin asks, which of the current male and female players are the most talented yet to win a Grand Slam singles title?
Give that just a little thought.
Okay, you need a week to think about that one, think about all the players. I couldn't come up with an answer to that straight away. There's a lot of them out there. But it was directed at you, Jeff, so there's it's your gig.
Well, quickly, you just look at this man on screen. Djokovic, he's not yet to win a Grand Slam. One would think he's one of the more talented and may do shortly. And also Ana Ivanovic. There's a couple off the top of my head. Big point here, though.
Oh, well, a wild swing. It costs him his serve. Djokovic with the break in just the fourth game of the first set.
You can see that the Djokovic family, the boys look a little bit like their brother, don't they? The two of them here, and the coach and dad. So he's got the entire entourage. Slip, slop, slap for you folks that are watching us internationally. That's the big slogan out here in Australia. A lot of problems with the sun. And that's the slogan that they use. All the ball kids from SunSmart, they wear that every year. Send the message out.
Little ironic that it's an indoor event that they get that message out, Fred, but I think people get the message.
They get the message, all right. If they walk outside, they'll get the message in a hurry.
Indeed.
Sneaky quick serve, that, isn't it? It's, suddenly it's on you. Takes his time.
518 aces came off his racket in 2007. Sixth highest number of aces on the men's tour in the year.
13-15. In fact, he played a lot of matches. Helps that stat as well.
True.
When you win more games, you've got to serve more tennis balls. And he was no doubt happy to have to step up and serve a lot of the times. Many went late in the tournaments.
Good.
14-15.
It's Tatiana Golovin. He had to play one game today due to the unfortunate injury to Jankovic.
Like the rest of us, wondering whether or not she's going to have to play the mixed. Well, it's an impressive start from the world number 3. Novak Djokovic consolidates the break and leads 4-1 in the first set. 1-4.
15 love.
Well, the race, free lessons for you folks at home as you continue to watch our coverage of the Hopman Cup. Have a look at where these players start their serves, and they start it down low, very simple, not a lot of flurry there. Starts it down low, and then the left arm just has to go straight up and place the ball up. A lot of recreational players will start from shoulders and drop both arms, and then the arms have to go up again. Make it simple. This, if you watch a lot of the footwork, you get a lot of free lessons watching these guys. And the girls, same thing.
I think, Jeff, you still do a lot of coaching. I know sometimes the trick is you see the players at the elite level with their big torque and torso twists. At club level, if you can keep the technique pretty simple, it'll help you.
Most things, isn't it? It's good. The good players make it look simple as well. Oh, that's just again, just letting Djokovic off the hook.
14-15.
Great anticipation again from the #3 player in the world as he goes down the line. That's the toughest shot for Clement too, but again he just doesn't have the pace to finish it off. And Djokovic anticipating that in a well executed volley into the open court.
A much needed service hold for Arnaud Clement.
7 leads for games to 2.
Yeah, I mean, the top players do make it look simple, but you know they do so much hard work physically as well, so that what they do on court, the gyrations and rotations, the body's able to deal with it. They do a lot of what's called core strength and stability work that makes sure the trunk is really strong. And all these players this week, they spend a great deal of time in the gym before they play, after they play. There's so much to do to achieve success.
Another great exchange.
Mark 15.
Well, that's where you get all your good oil, isn't it, Jeff? The 45 minutes you spend on the treadmill every morning. You see the players down there.
Well, they seem to be doing a lot more than I am in the gym, but you know, it's such a physical game now, and the body needs to be so capable of backing up tough matches day after day.
Professional sports person blowing really hard after just 1 point there. That was just one rally. And you get to the slams and you have to play best of 5 sets.
15 all.
And depending on scheduling, well, if you go to Wimbledon, probably sometimes you've got to get through 3 matches in 2 days if it rains.
Absolutely.
As was the case this year when it was very wet at SW19, or last year, should I say.
13-15.
And that's what we've spoken about already with Djokovic. He needs to keep building himself up, because that has been a difficult issue for him in 2007. He's got to keep getting stronger because he's playing more matches, difficult matches. He's working on it.
Perhaps a little chance for Clement.
Yeah, 7th game, 4-2. There's a tattoo for you. He started off the game with 5 bounces. It's got more important now at 30 all, and that was about 13 or 14, and he serves an ace.
14-13.
I think that's
Clement's tattoo. I don't know what it is, but
some kind of mountain behind a field. I don't know. Oh, got it! Yes! Wonderful shot!
they're the 2 brothers, the 2 younger brothers, and Dad and the coach, they like that one.
I think that's what you call the inferred error, knowing the speed of Djokovic, the pace of Djokovic. Clement goes for more there. That's the shot that he'd never make a mistake with if he was on top in a match.
Certainly, if you're playing someone who's quick, you tend to panic a little bit, and you wonder how you're going to get the ball away from somebody, and you start making errors that you would not normally make. Does a little more with this one, Clement, and he was right to do so because the Djokovic forehand landed very short, and he knows it. Gesticulating to himself, come on, got to get more depth.
And he listened, Jeff. Solid return there, and it was depth of shot along with a little bit of pace that set up the easy forehand for him.
Great battling from Clement.
30 all.
Well, he's working hard, Clement. This shot here, though, from Djokovic, clearly mistimed, and he's certainly not quite yet where he'd like to be, Djokovic, as far as his timing is concerned.
And the Serb realises that that slower ball, 3/4 court, off forehand, letting him down. Players at the top of the world just expect to make those shots.
Most of the times they do, don't they?
Hence the expectation.
pass.
He was in a bit of strife for a moment in that service game, Arnaud Clement, but he'll force Djokovic to serve it out.
Serbia leads 5 games to 3.
Pretty good battle through 31 minutes, although despite his body language, Djokovic has shown us that he's the man with the momentum. And the crowd, great treat for them to see one of the rising stars of world tennis serving for the set. Expect a few more of those.
That's a tough shot for Clement to handle, because Djokovic plays that slice, and the way he plays the slice, it's going away from the forehand here. This one here, and you can see that fades away from the forehand. So he's going to get out there and come around the outside of the ball if he's going to go cross court. So it's a tough shot for him to play.
30 love.
Just long, and it gives Novak Djokovic 3 set points. He may have just mentally switched off there, Djokovic, expecting that return to go long. There's a few demons inside the head of the young Serb, despite having another 2 set points. Too much power from Novak Djokovic. And the world number 3 takes the first set. 6 games to 2. Djokovic looking to consolidate the break. 2-1.
Love.
Second ball.
I can't believe he told us the other day that his record for ball bouncing is played Chris Guccione from Australia in the last Davis Cup tie in Serbia this year 36 times. He'd get a cramp waiting for it. That's what he jokingly said. He said, Guccione got a cramp waiting for me to get ready to serve.
I suppose that illustrates the growing force that is the tennis nation of Serbia. That was the World Group qualification relegation tie. Australia not in the World Group anymore, thanks to this gentleman and friends.
30-15.
He looks a little resigned, Arnaud Clément. There's no doubting he's going to keep fighting, but I think he's a little lost for ideas.
Well, he still hits the ball as well as he ever did, Clément, but the game has changed a little bit, even from the time he got through to the finals. The Australian beat Grosjean in 5 sets, but the boys now, in that period of whatever it is, 5, 6, 7 years, now hit the ball 20% harder than they did then, and the strings have changed, so there's more power in the game, and that's been to Clément's detriment.
40-13.
Doing his own commentary. Yes, it's amazing to think that it's 7 years ago that Arnaud Clément made that Australian Open final against Andre Agassi.
He had nothing left against Agassi. No. He didn't finish till about 9 o'clock the night before. He was down match points against Grosjean, came back and won it.
Oh.
Deuce.
It's an example of his errant timing today. Had so much time to get to that ball, position himself, and still basically got ahead of himself. Up he comes here, sets himself, wants to hit, and then has to wait. He actually was through the shot before the ball was there. So he's not entirely happy with his own performance today.
Well, again, the persistence of the Frenchman.
Advantage, France.
And although momentum suggests he's well out of the contest, Clément break here, and we're back on serve in the second set. Oh! 17 bounces before that first serve.
When he had 36, he said he missed the first serve anyway.
Again. He saves the break point.
It was a heck of a second serve. You know, he says that he uses that time to really focus on the more important points, and I guess it's tough to argue, except there are time limits with players. 25 seconds really allowed between points, and he pushes that to the limit often.
Down the middle.
Advantage, Serbia.
Sometimes the hardest thing when you've got set here is, where do I hit it?
It's reasonably common ploy these days, smash or hit an aggressive ball straight down the middle, because a player at the other end will normally try and pick left or right, and they'll move in one direction. So if you hit up the middle, chances are you're probably going to find an empty hole.
Djokovic survives a break point to hold. And indeed he does consolidate his previous break of Clement's serve for a 3-1 lead second set, having taken the first set 6-3. And unfortunately for his country, Jelena Jankovic having to default her women's singles encounter against Tatiana Golovin. Jankovic struggling with what we believe is an upper hamstring problem in her right leg. She's gone off to get some scans just to see the extent of that injury.
Serve and volley from Clement. The change up, has to try something a little different. Then couldn't quite get back for the lob.
It's worthy of an attempt, isn't it? He's losing and he's not winning a huge percentage of points off the first serve. In fact, he's won 57% of points off the first serve compared with 75 for Djokovic. So he's needing to try something different.
$30, 15.
205 kilometres. This is pretty consistent, isn't it? The last 3 aces have been exactly the same pace.
Not the technique really required. He, as much as we see a lot of players in the air trying to play ground strokes, Djokovic, it's almost like one of his dance moves on New Year's Eve there, flying to his right. Oh, not enough on the approach from Djokovic. Easy pickings for Clement. Maybe down, but the Frenchman not out just yet. (3-2).
$15 love.
Clement, the surprise winner at Wimbledon in the doubles. They didn't expect to win a Grand Slam, particularly on grass. They took out the Bryan brothers, who were very heavy favourites.
Speaking of doubles, Fred, I've got some terrific news. Just wait for this point. We're going to see a mixed doubles, gentlemen. Jelena Jankovic, we haven't got the results of her scan as yet, but just had word from tournament officials that Serbia's not dead and buried because of Jankovic's retirement in the singles. She's going to come and play the mixed. Challenge from Clement.
Well, that is good news. That means that it may not be as serious as we thought.
Good challenge from the Frenchman. The winner of today's tie in the box seat in Group A, that have 2 wins from 2 starts, having both been successful first up, Serbia and France.
some work from what?
30-15.
Just on Jankovic, although we haven't got official word on what that MRI scan brought up with the Australian Open to come, there's no way he should be risking further injury by going out there, so that's a pretty good sign, I'd suggest. And hence now underlining the importance of this display from fellow world number 3 Novak Djokovic. Just a great angle on the return.
A total miss. He apologises to Djokovic for that one.
Okay, 7.
Djokovic just keeps highballing in the lead.
7 leads, 4-2.
Interesting day's work, hasn't it been from Djokovic? No doubt he's thinking of the big prize to come at Melbourne Park, but he's playing a man that beat him last start.
Well, yeah, he almost looks as if he's got something to prove here, because he will recall his last loss, and so he's very focused here, Djokovic. He wants to win this for all sorts of reasons. But looking at his body language, you wouldn't realise that he's up a set in 4-2. He still means business, totally.
15 love.
There's no real charisma today as yet from the Serb. Perhaps a different style of charisma. We're still getting to see what's going on in his mind a little.
Still not happy with his timing, and it's the deep ball where he tries to pull it cross court. He lifts up on it, not happy with it.
And you spoke of his growing maturity, Fred. It's okay to be the clown prince when you're on top, but if you've got to work hard, make sure tennis comes first.
30-15.
I think I heard an alley in there somewhere, which means, come on, I've got to do something better.
He's missed a lot of those short balls, hasn't he? He's either missed them or hasn't done enough, and he's disappointed clearly with that. He can do better.
You're practicing your French again, are you, Quentin?
I need plenty of practice. He's keeping Djokovic honest, making him work, as we expected from the veteran Frenchman. Exchange, but Tomai just couldn't pick up the half volley.
40-30.
Real purpose here from Djokovic. Takes the second serve in quickly. Good stretch.
I think his feet got stuck there a little, Jeff. Didn't make that half little movement required at the end to get his body to right in the right position. Oh, just looked ugly.
Yeah. Neither player has played especially well at the same time. We've had bits and pieces. Hasn't really fired up yet.
Advantage 7.
Alarm bells well and truly ringing now for Arnaud Clément. Down a break already. A pseudo match point really for Novak Djokovic.
Oh,
no. Oh, what a great strength from Djokovic. The return was awesome, really, considering what he had to contend with, and Clément couldn't believe the pace that came back at his toes. And Djokovic will now serve for victory after the changeover.
That's why he was having a chat with Marianne Vajca on the changeover, sort of not timing the ball as well as I would like to be.
Wonderful subtlety. And this is where we expected the Frenchman to excel, but Djokovic able to show a different side of his game as well. Plenty of time, and the execution was too good.
15 off.
Just repeating, Yana Jankovic, despite pulling out of her singles, will play the mixed doubles, which will now decide this tie. And we've got word that there's no signs of a hamstring tear, having gone for scans. She had to pull out against Tatiana Golovin.
15-13.
But this one's not over just yet.
No, give it a couple of minutes.
Oh, getting cynical on your experience, Fred. You might be right, though. Just pushed that little backhand more than hitting through it. Previous shot, Clément. Clement, and now Djokovic with his first match point.
40-30.
It's been a healthy struggle, despite this man always being behind the 8 ball. No.
Yes.
Would you believe it? I think that's his first double fault. Yep. On match point. Now Clement has a chance.
Advantage, pass.
But a good piece of the return.
Did well, didn't he? Because the serve was at the right hip. He was jammed, got out of the way quickly. Good depth, well done.
Yes, fine blow from Clement to extend the contest.
7-8. 5 games to 3.
So much for my couple of minutes here.
Yes, serves you right to be cynical.
Not cynical, I've just been honest. And he served a double fault on match point, but that was a good comeback from Clement and deserves the opportunity. This is the biggest forehand he's hit, one of the few forehand winners he's hit. Good effort.
And the German service challenging the in-call. Second serve.
Missed it.
Well, that was an interesting call because he challenged that, and then I guess Clement said no, the ball was out.
Yeah.
So and, he told the umpire that he should watch them, but Clement just said no, it was out, so they played the second serve.
Yeah, gave himself up, did Clement. Fine sportsmanship.
But
that one's played. Good portion of the service line. Well, this second set has gone beyond 3/4 of an hour. It has been hard work for both players.
Oh, that's the best forehand he's hit today and possibly all week. Smoke.
15-40.
Was he in position here, though? Have a good look at this.
Well, Djokovic was unable to serve it out previously, but now has two chances to seal the match on the Clement serve. And Djokovic there saying, good shot. He realised
30-40.
his previous ground stroke was too short. Clement climbing all over it. So this is what, a 4th match point now.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very important announcement is that the lady
Novak Djokovic too good for Arnaud Clement, and he keeps Serbia in the tie, winning it in straight sets 6-3, 6-3.